Hey y'all, just the latest update from Gonzo in Glasgow where I've been trying to get some justice for some injustice that's been done to me. I've given you a brief explanation of it all. Um, I guess underneath this video, post some comments about what you would like me to expand upon. But what I've been dealing with lately is I've been trying to get a record of the 911 call that was placed by my friend Chris when I staggered over to his house bleeding out after this guy Canyon attacked me with a hammer. And he was there because he had made some kind of arrangement with the sheriff's department here in Cloud County, Kansas, to come here and I guess frame me to arrest me, pretty much. He found artwork in my pickup truck that I was letting him borrow. I did a lot for this guy, and he basically did everything to try and frame me and use me to get himself out of trouble. Currently, he's facing some serious charges down in Colorado for kidnapping his wife, holding her against her will, and using a deadly weapon to do it, a machete, pretty much. And I guess that was not really a problem for the Cloud County Sheriffs of Kansas because they listened to everything that he said, which is obviously hearsay and what's also lies. But they used what he said to go in front of a judge after I was assaulted by him and after they took him to jail where they charged him with aggravated battery with intent to harm if not kill and use of a deadly weapon to do it. um, but all that doesn't seem to matter to them. They're on some kind of witch hunt agenda, and honestly I do believe that that is fueled by the Alphabet Soup Boys. That's what I'll call them. The federal agency that came into my apartment one day and said they could do whatever they want, and I challenged them to that comment and I won. And ever since then, they've held it pretty much against me and have been fucking my life up for over 10 years now. Yeah, over 10 years. So anyway, yeah, there is now what's going on is the 911 call was placed on my friend's relative's phone, and she has made repeated attempts to try and get a copy of her bill that shows that phone call. Um, and they've done everything they can to try and stymie her having the information that she truly has permission to access. She put in a request for them to mail her a copy of the receipt that would show the time that the 911 call was placed, and that copy of her bill has not shown up in the mail yet. She's called customer service to try and get the information verbally over the telephone, and they have not denied, well, they have denied her now. Actually, now they have denied her and says that she doesn't have the proper credentials or the password to get into her account to access the information that she rightfully should be able to access. And I'm not sure who's doing that, but I'm sure we can guess. And the reason they don't want that information to become known to her and known to me is because it will prove that Sergeant Patterson did falsify a police report in this particular situation, this case, to protect the agreement they had with Canyon, because he was the first responder to the house. It wasn't Wogamon. And he promised me and Chris and Chris's mother that he would only be going to my house to apprehend Canyon, the man that did this to me. Now, at this point, I had no clue that they were the ones that told him to come here, and whether they told him to assault me the way he did, I have a feeling that they might have said something about maybe roughing me up, because when they're reluctantly realizing that they're going to have to arrest Canyon, and that he would be the one going to jail and not me. They pretty much, at one point, they're talking about what they're going to charge him with. And Patterson's like, yeah, well, obviously he went above and beyond. And then he just stops whatever he was going to say. He went above and beyond. So it leaves me to consider, did he go above and beyond what you told him to do, which would be the excuse for him to call you guys, which would be the excuse for you guys to show up, and for him to give you what he thought were drugs in my pickup truck, because it was art. It was blotter art. There's nothing on it. It was blotter art. I collect blotter art amongst all the other art that I collect. But I guess Canyon thought it was something different, and I guess the officers thought it was something different too. And how he even got credibility to be able to make a phone call up to the Cloud County Sheriffs and have a conversation with them for over 25 minutes is above and beyond me too, Not above and beyond them doing such heinous things, but I don't put anything above and beyond what the police and federal agencies will do in order to get revenge, because they were made to look like fools and made to eat their words. And they just chips on the shoulder, man, spending God knows how much money in taxpayer dollars to persecute me, harass me, discriminate against me. They're like the school ground bullies, all fighting over school money. And I just can't accept it no more. So anyway, she went to go try and get the 911 call, and they said she doesn't have the proper credentials to access her information concerning phone calls made on her lines. And what are you talking about? She doesn't have the proper credentials. She's the one that pays the phone bill. She's the one that, owns the lines. Like, so what is going on? And that's the latest update. I just wanted to let everybody know what I'm dealing with. Tomorrow I'm going to call over to my attorney. They had this case. They came into my house and they essentially searched it. They searched it for drugs. They went and got a search warrant based upon hearsay from a violent felon and used that hearsay to go in front of a judge under oath and swear that those things were in my house. Even though Canyon had never been to my house before. But there's this woman named Amber and a guy named Jeremiah who also were at my house, and Amber, whoever, I don't know what's going on, but either both of them or one of them left something in the guest bedroom, and that was allegedly found by the police. And so they tried to charge me for that. They tried to charge me for what they allegedly found. I don't know. I just don't really know what's going on. But my attorney wrote up a motion to suppress. And then all of a sudden I get a call like a week after that. And he says they're considering dropping the charges on me. And I'm like, they're considering dropping the charges? Geez, I wonder why. And my attorney took credit and said it was because of his well-written motion to suppress. And it was a well-written motion to suppress. But I'm wondering if it was because they took whatever they allegedly found in the pickup truck, sent it off to the lab to get tested, and found nothing on it, which is what I've been saying the whole time. The whole time. That was my artwork. And now it's destroyed because of them. And I had to spend a tremendous amount of money on a lawyer. I had to spend a tremendous amount of money to get out of jail. And they dismissed the case, but they dismissed it without prejudice. And what that means is they can recharge me for the case down the road. And so now I'm trying to prove that this officer, not only did they conspire with other agencies and federal agencies and bring a convicted felon from another state to do what happened. I don't know if that's legal or not. Is that legal to be able to do stuff like that? Anybody with any kind of knowledge of that, let me know. Put it in the comments below. But yeah, guys, my subscription rate, as far as people that are subscribing to my channel, it's not really going up. I'm getting a lot of views and everything, and I do appreciate that. Thank you so much for being interested in what I'm dealing with over here in Glasgow. I could tell you many, many stories about things that have happened prior to me moving to Glasgow, but I think what's relevant right now is what I'm currently dealing with. Um, and I want to file a civil suit against these guys because I've gone through so much. My friends have gone through so much. My mom and my father have gone through so much. I mean, so many people this has affected. And now Chris's relative is a nervous wreck, um, because she's worried about what is really going on and whether she's going to start having problems with these sheriffs and whether her son's going to start having problems with these sheriffs. And it's wrong, man. Everything they're doing is completely out of line. Um, I sit here and I've been working my cryptocurrency. Thank God the crypto market rebounded. I've been trying to renovate my two houses here. I got one that's going to be rented here soon. Um, but I've been getting stonewalled on that too, just with local folk who basically just, milked me for cash, but didn't really do anything effectively to improve the house towards being livable. Um, so yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as Billy Strings tour goes. I really want to go on Billy Strings tour. Um, but do I trust these officers? Hell no. Hell no, I don't trust them. There's no reason to trust them. Um, but anyway, please put some comments down below so I know what more you would like to know about. And right now, we can't get the 911 call. It appears that they are obstructing justice, I guess you could say. So there you go. There's another thing that they're going to be found guilty for, I hope, eventually. I'm dealing with a judicial system where the partiality always goes towards the police. And it doesn't even matter if they're in the wrong. Sometimes the judge will not rule against them, especially if they have people in positions of power telling them not to rule against the police, or there goes their career, or there goes any chance of moving up the ladder in the world of the judiciary system. So yeah, I've watched it happen over and over again, unfortunately, where the DA asks the judge to ignore the law of the land and rule against the law of the land, but in favor of not finding the quote unquote law enforcement officers guilty of what they clearly are guilty of. So, yeah, man, it's just something else. And, it takes a lot out of me. I'm completely drained. I'm emotionally just, it's so hard to remain positive when you've got people trying to demonize you. And, I live in a tiny town here. This is only like 400 people. And so the damage is done as far as what people perceive me as being. It's quite hard to move into a rural community in Kansas where all the families have been here for generations and generations, and you're like the new guy in town. I've been here over 2 years. I've been here almost 2.5 years now, and I'm still the new guy in town, and the fact that all of this has gone down has just made it even worse, and it never needed to be like this, but for whatever reason, it's like this, and I'm pretty sure it has everything to do with me prevailing in my case in Chicago 10 years ago in 2013. And, ever since then, they've not allowed me to even have a remote chance of a normal existence or normal life. I mean, the violations have been so continuous and at times just overbearing and overwhelming and quite stifling. And they get great joy out of doing this. There's no doubt in my mind that they just love to pretty much torture me and watch me try to maintain a sense of civility about me. And, it makes it near impossible to trust anyone. And it also makes people not want to hang out with me because as soon as people start hanging out with me and are my friends, well, they'll start messing with them too. and that's what they're doing now to this relative of Chris's. And it's completely out of line. I mean, I've never in my life would have thought that this is what they'd be willing to go to these extremes. And all I'm trying to do is get what time the 911 call was placed. I mean, I probably will post the body cam footage here at some point, and you guys got to watch it. It's unbelievable when you are aware of the fact that Patterson was on scene first, and when you watch the videos, knowing that knowledge, and also knowing the knowledge that they knew Canyon was going to be here. Like when they arrived that evening, they were probably expecting to arrest me. But it turns out I had to go to the intensive care unit where I stayed for 3 days, and they had to arrest Canyon. But they still tried to stick to their plan that they arranged with Canyon. And they still came here and searched the house for drugs. Not for the weapon that nearly killed me, but for drugs that they allegedly were told were allegedly in this house by individuals. The girl, Amber, she stole my wallet. She stole 2 sets of keys to 2 of my cars. And she left whatever she left in that room. And whoever told whoever about it, because when they came to search for the house, they went to like just a few specific places and grabbed exactly, I guess, what they were allegedly told was going to be there. They didn't toss the house at all. They didn't go through anything else other than where they went to specifically grab the things. Then they broke the warrant, and because the warrant was to search the house, but then they broke the warrant, and then they went and searched vehicles. They broke into my garage. They cut a chain off of it that I keep it closed with because I was getting bicycles stolen and stuff, because there's a lot of thievery around here because of like just the drug issue around here with people doing methamphetamine and just what it makes people do, unfortunately. But yeah, man, so this is it. I just want to give an update, and let's hope that everything works out for me, because, and I say that by, when I say hope everything works out for me, that's before they come here and just try and frivolously charge me for bullshit before I can actually file my civil suit against them and keep them at bay. Because once I can find a way to find an attorney that's willing to take this case, and if you know anybody within the area or even nationwide that would take this case, because this case is it's a perfect example of how far the cops will go to not be wrong, and they're violating all my constitutional rights when indeed the vow they take an oath to when they become law enforcement officers is to prevent me from not having my constitutional rights. Yet they are the ones that are violating them and breaking them and lying, so they look like the heroes and I look like the zero. Man. All right. I'm going to go watch some football, I guess. Try and get some food and relax, and I'll give you an update soon. I hope that you all watch this and have watched it to the end, and please, please, please hit the like button, hit the support button, and give me the support I need, because there's a lot of people too scared to support me, and hopefully maybe with the Facebook or YouTube being a little bit more of an anonymous support, you can support me. I'll be putting up the new things that YouTube has allowed us to do, which is a super thanks thing where you can donate. If you donate anything, it goes towards bringing justice to me and providing the ability to make these officers be held accountable and to put them where they belong, because Patterson certainly needs to be brought up on perjury charges, falsifying police reports, and manipulating evidence, and conspiracy. I think it's a conspiracy if it's 2 or more people agreeing to do something together that is clearly in violation of the law. Well, I mean, when you bring someone to my house, and whether you tell them to rough me up or not, I don't think it's cool that you told the violent felon to come here and you knew he was here, and you act like you don't even know who he is, but meanwhile the whole time you're playing dumb to me. You know exactly what's going on. I didn't even know what was going on until Well, the case got dismissed. I still didn't watch the video cam footage because I was just not ready to watch it. I went to some Billy Strings shows. I vended. I came back here, and then I watched the video cam footage. And that's only when I realized that they knew he was coming here the whole time, and they actually invited him here. And I guess, what it's breaking down to is it looks like they were going to strike some deal with Canyon where he would probably only get uh, 18 months suspended for his violation of his bond, because when he tried to kill me, he was out on bond, and I bonded him out, and that was to be bonded out from the still waiting to be figured out case of holding his wife against her will, and with a deadly weapon. Um, and there's so much more that's so wrong about all of this. And I'll go into more detail as time goes on. I can start making posts every day, as long as I remember to, and as long as I feel motivated to, and as long as I see the interest by those that are watching this. Please bring this to people's attentions that are totally about trying to get justice for the individuals that are being treated wrongly by law enforcement officers nationwide. I will try and turn this civil case that hopefully I can start into a class action lawsuit for everybody in the Cloud County area, because there are so many people in Cloud County that this has happened to that just don't have the ability financially to make this well known in the public's eye. Any kind of media coverage would be great. I just want to get this out and about so they stop treating people the way they treated me that night. And we'll see. We'll see if I can make a difference. All right. Much love to y'all, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.